I love ribs, and look at these beautiful ribs. Watch out this video. I'm gonna show you how to make gorgeous, delicious ribs. Super easy, very tender, very juicy, and delicious. Hi, this is Victor with spiceandadvice.com and welcome to another episode of Spice and Advice. Today, we're going to make ribs. I love ribs when they're juicy and tender. Oh, they are delicious. You can make them in the grill, you can make them in a smoker and cook them for hours and hours, and that's great if you have the time, but I personally don't have the time. So I'm gonna be using an Instapot. And what the Instapot is gonna do is gonna cook them, put the flavor and make them tender, and then we're gonna finish them in the oven with the barbecue sauce, just to caramelize the barbecue sauce. So now they have all that sweetness and all that barbecue sauceness, goodness into your ribs. So we're gonna make a whole rack, and it's very simple, it's very easy. Let's look at our ingredients. Okay, so we have a whole rack of ribs, and earlier today, I just trimmed all of the membrane that is in the back and trimmed some of the fat, because there's a lot of fat and that membrane makes it harder. And when you remove it, the ribs are just really juicy and tender. We're gonna use 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of oregano. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna season them from both sides. I don't like things extremely salty, so I try to be a little bit more careful with the amount of salt. But you want to cover everything under the folds. Okay, now that we have all of the meat is seasoned, now we're gonna get the Instapot ready. We're gonna open it. Then we're gonna put a rack. You want to put them in the rack because you don't want the flavor of the meat to get into the liquid that you're gonna put. You want to have your meat to keep the flavor. We're gonna put now in a beer. You can use any beer. I'm using actually an apple hard cider. You can use beer, you can use apples vinegar, or you can use water if you prefer. And then we're gonna put a few drops of liquid smoke. It's like 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the rack in with the bones down, and we're gonna wrap it around in a circle. Try to put it as best as you can. You're gonna have to probably smash it a little bit, but it's gonna cook fine. And then we're gonna close the lid. We close, make sure that the venting is closed, is sealed. And then we're gonna cook it on high for 22 minutes. The reason why I'm doing for 22 minutes, you can cook it between 16 minutes and 25. 16 minutes, they're gonna be a little bit more firmer, so they might not be as tender. 25 to me is a little bit too tender. The bones are gonna come off, and when you make ribs, you want them to keep that, the bone attached to the meat. You want the meat to be tender, but you will still want the bone in place. So 21, 22 minutes is perfect. That's the way I have made them, and they worked out fine. So I'm gonna put 21 minutes. So we have it on high, manual. Okay, so the Instapot finished cooking, and then we let it natural release for 15 more minutes. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish venting whatever is left, and then we're gonna take the ribs out. Just be careful when you open because it's hot and it's steam. Look how beautiful that looks. Now we're gonna use 2 tongs. That's gonna make it so much easier to take it out. Okay. Now we're gonna lay it down and we're gonna cover it with barbecue sauce on both sides. Barbecue sauce. You can use whatever barbecue sauce you have, or I have a recipe for a barbecue sauce that is gonna be in the description that is really, really good. It's kind of like an Asian inspired barbecue sauce. You're gonna love it. So now we're just gonna give it a good cover. We flip it. See, it's already falling apart. You can tell that that meat is very tender. The oven is at 450. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook it for between 10 and 15 minutes. It's gonna depend on your oven, and the idea is just to caramelize the barbecue sauce. So at 10 minutes, check it to see how it's looking, and if it still looks like it needs a little bit more, then just cook it for 15. I don't think you're gonna need more than 15. Now we go to the oven and we're gonna put them for 10 to 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 13 minutes.
13 minutes, starting now.
Ribs are ready. Now they're coming out of the oven. Oh, they smell so, so good. Look at that. I mean, I'm not even putting hardly any pressure. They are perfect. You can cut them now individually. I don't like to cut them before I cook them, because I have noticed that they dry up when you cut them before. And you don't want dry ribs. You want them to be juicy. It's hot, really hot. Oh, but it smells so good. The barbecue sauce, it caramelized, and now with the flavor of the meat, that is delicious. I mean, it just melts in your mouth. It's so tender. And the barbecue sauce that I made is a little bit spicy. Not spicy like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna burn, but just spicy enough that you just give it a little bit of a kick. It's delicious. I'm gonna have another piece. That is perfect. I'm telling you, it's like a party in my mouth. Definitely you want to make those. And that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so you can get notifications every time we put a new episode. Follow us on Instagram at SpiceKnown, in Facebook and Spice and Advice, and enjoy. Bon appetit. Oh, come on. That is, if the thing stays in. Okay, that's it. Man, they're good. They're really good.